time. Just want to come on here and talk real quick to you guys about the Michael, is it Rayner guy from Power? If I have the name wrong, please let me know. But so I want to talk about it because I think it's terrible what happened to this young man. My understanding of the story is that he was on a YouTube platform, and the YouTuber or the content creator's platform, um, he also had his sister there. I guess they were in person. So yeah, they were in person because he said that he was SA'd essentially. He didn't use that word, but that's what happened. So they were there, and long short of it, the sister, the content creator's sister, went over to this actor and Mr. Strayer, I believe is his name. Let me know if I have that wrong. And I guess hugged him and then groped him. Now, like I told y'all guys before, and I'm always going to say this, I believe victims. But apparently, this is on video. So the content creator did apologize, make a public apology, I believe, on the platform. And then Michael, also the guy from Power, he also made a statement, and he said that I'm still processing this essentially. Uh, Now, like I said, he's on this show. The guy that was SA, he's on this show called Power. I've never watched it. I'm not really a 50 Cent fan, but whatever. I don't knock anyone's hustle as long as it's not harming anyone. But 50 decided after I guess this broke and it's everywhere. This story, he decided to go on his Instagram or some social media platform and basically say, let's downplay what happened to this young man. Let's say, this was this young lady or whomever being aggressive, but that's not SA. And this is the thing. I just need everybody to go and read a book, including you, uh, Mr. Sant. Okay, you wrote a book, but did you read one? Okay, because you've been running around the earth, um, talking about how Mr. Shitty Diddy is this horrible human being and he needs to go to jail and this, that, and the third. And I agree wholeheartedly with everything that he said I'm about to say Pon, about Mr. Sean Combs, Mr. Shitty Diddy or Shitty Combs or whatever. But I don't think that I honestly don't think that he really cares about the victims. I think he really has something against Diddy, but that's just my opinion. Now, both can be true at the same time. He could actually care and want, Mr. Diddy to be brought to justice and really just hate him. Both things could be true. Um, but I have a sneaking feeling that it's more of the latter, that he just doesn't like Sean Puffy Combs. Uh, Sorry, I'm looking at people that's walking by. Um, That being said, I want him to go, Mr. Sant, please go and read a book, or at least read what it says in the penal code about SA and what it is. It is unlawful touching, meaning someone did not give you permission to touch them. That's assault. Okay? As far as I can, the most simplistic definition of it. If you touch someone, throw something at someone, spit at someone, any of those things happen, that's assault. That's what it is. So let's just be clear about that. Listen, y'all, I'm dealing with this Houston weather. And although I'm sitting in my car and I have the air conditioner turned to 63 degrees, still a little warm in here, okay? Wow. I can't even, my light don't even make me, look, it doesn't add any type of light to the thing. But anyway, maybe, no, I don't want to do that either because then that's going to let the heat in too. Um, so this is the thing. If you're going to say whatever you're going to say about Mr. Shitty Combs, you got to keep it consistent. You can't change your perspective simply because you don't believe that that's what happened. It doesn't matter what you believe. Hello. It doesn't matter what you believe. What matters is what's the definition of it. And the definition is unlawfully touching someone, throwing something at someone. All of those things, that's SA. It just is what it is. And here's the other part to it. I want you to be tread very lightly, Mr. Cent, Mr. 50 Cent, because he works for you. Hi, Peter. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Um, this man works for you. So the first thing that says to me as a social worker is what is happening. If you're saying this out loud, what are you saying behind closed doors to these people? What are you thinking? What is the people that work for power to think now? It can't be SA because I'm a man. Hello, Terry Crews. It 100% can be. I think there, but it's part of that toxic conditioning. Again, this is another part of the toxic conditioning. Um, it's this idea that because you're a man, you're automatically sex positive and you're automatically a person who's thinking about sex 24/7. That's what toxic conditioning tells us, that that's what's happening, and that anything dealing with sex, a man welcomes. I'm not a man, so I don't want to speak for men, but I am a human being, and I will say that we're not a monolith, right? So everybody isn't the same. Some men, because 50 Cent, and I'm paraphrasing, 50 Cent basically said, this is some sort of like aggressive, I want to get with you type of thing or whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't have your right. You don't have a right to aggressively touch anybody. You don't have a right to touch anybody, at least in this country. So I just need you, A, to apologize to him. And then B, if I am your employee, I am now worried. I am now concerned that if anything happens to me, I can't trust that my employer is going to back me. Now, 50 did take it down because I'm sure all of the people in power or whatever network his that show is on, I'm sure they were like, oh no. What we don't want to do is be in this type of dogfight. But it just shows how ignorant he is. Educate yourself, Mr. Sant. Okay, educate yourself because you need to figure it out. And then also too, like I said, his one of his, I don't know if he has multiple children with different women, but there's at least one woman that he has a child with who said that he ard her. I just don't know. Are you the kettle or the pot? Are you the pot or the kettle? Which one are you? I just feel like for the Trey songs and the what's that other guy's name? Oh, I can't think of his name. He was on Hip Hop Atlanta or Atlanta Hip Hop or whatever that is. Hip Hop in Atlanta. Oh God, what is his name? Joe Budden. I need y'all to see that. Like I just, if you have ever essayed or think you maybe have essayed someone or at least harassed them, just shut the fuck up. Just hush. I'm actually, let me take that back. I'm actually glad that these idiots are out here saying something. I want all of them to be called out. I want all of them to be brought to the front. Um, no, it's not Lil Wayne. It's Joe Budden. That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about Joe Budden because he got on his podcast and was talking about Sean Miss Shitty Diddy and so I was just kind of like the moment he said it, I didn't even really watch it when he was on Loving Hip Hop. That's what it's called. But I could just tell. I'm like, you seem like an aggressive person in general. So when he said that, I was like, what in the? But again, I'm glad he said it. I want all of the people to say something because I want all of the victims to come forward. All of them. They can't come forward because we have statutes to protect perpetrators. It just is what it is. It's not to protect the victims. Why is it that if I'm victimized, you get to? This is what a lawyer told me. The reason we have statutes of limitation on SA is because if that person goes on with their life, you shouldn't be able to hold over their head that they SA'd you. No, I didn't. What's the name of the podcast? Put in the chat what the name of the podcast is, and I'll go check it out. Um, but yeah, it's just like no, I heard it on Joe Budden's podcast. It was like a little snippet that I heard about it. But when I heard him say it, I was like, "Sir, because I had heard previously years ago that he was abusive to some of the females in his life. That's what I had already heard. So I just found it like I think you should call people out, but I'm just kind of like, are you the pot of the kettle, sir? Like you can't really say anything if you're also that person having that same exact behavior or similar. It's just like be quiet, like just sit over there and be quiet. But listen, I hope that everybody that can come out does come out, and I hope that they call out all of these perpetrators, and I hope they all get terminated out because I know they're not all going to get sued, and I know they're not all going to go to jail and things like that. That just it's never going to happen, unfortunately. But but yeah, thanks for being a subscriber. I really appreciate it. Uh, but yeah, so I just find it rich. I find it very rich that Mr. 50 Cent is out here. Curtis, is that his name? Is out here telling this man because he said something to the fact that there ain't gonna be no lawsuit and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, how are you speaking for this man? He said that he's not even sure right now. And I'm paraphrasing how he hasn't fully processed it. So the fact that you didn't close this up for this man and said, oh, there won't be a lawsuit and this, that, and the third, it's like you don't one, you can't speak for him. Let that man speak for himself. He's a grown man. And then also, it feels to me like a sort of like an intimidation factor. First of all, this didn't happen at my job, so you have nothing to do with it. But it does feel like an intimidation factor for you to say to your employee, indirect or not, that he ain't filing a lawsuit and this isn't really SA. It's just like it's asinine. So I just want you to hush. I want you to sit down and shut up. That's what I would like. Sorry, guys, I gotta go. But chime down in the comment. I know, not Mr. 50 Cent. I just when I use words like that, I'm being funny. I'm not being serious because all of them are savages, in my opinion. But I'm gonna go ahead and go. I have some other things that I have to take care of today. But chime down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this situation. What do you think about 50 Cent? What do you think about the guy that works for Power? I think his name is Michael Strayer, I believe is his name. I probably have that part wrong. So put it in the chat if I have that part wrong, and I apologize. I'll go and fix it later. But how do you feel about 50 Cent deciding to just speak up for him and say that there's not going to be, first of all, that this is an essay, and then secondly, that there isn't going to be any, he's okay. That's what he said. He's fine. He'll be okay. And I'm like, how are you making a determination? You can't speak for other people's trauma. Stop it. Knock it off. It's nonsense. It's his trauma. Leave him alone. Let him deal with it. It doesn't have anything to do with you. In fact, what you should be saying is, would you like for me to pay for your counseling or therapy? And you need to do that privately, not publicly. Like everything doesn't need to be out for public consumption. What you should have said is, I support everything that you just said. I support your process. I support that you don't really know how to feel about this. If you need me, I'm here. That's what 50 Cent should have said. But he's he's moronic. What can I say? Anyways, guys, please, like I said, hit the like button on the way out. It is really crazy. Hit all my buttons, subscribe, like, share, and comment. Talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for joining me here on Chanel's Reality. Bye bye.